धारी श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जय। नित्याल्प विश्वम विष्णुपार शुतर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्याल्प विश्वम विष्णुपार शुतर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupar Shritar Shritashimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. So let me just go back because I didn't concentrate. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupar Shritar Shritashimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupar Shritar Shritashimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupar Shritar Shritashimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Shila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishta Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Balabatirtha Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Dait Madhav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. I'm just seeing in the chat here. Um, okay. Srila Bhakti Sharan Shanta Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Thanks for community, Didi. Jai, all the associates of Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, and all the disciples and followers of those associates Ki Jai. Jai, Srila Baladeva Jibushan Prabhu Ki Jai, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai, Sri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai Ki Jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Gosai Pad Ki Jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatt Raghunath, Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath, Shar Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari, Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai, Nam Achay Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund Ki Jai, Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur's transcendental Kirtans Ki Jai, Śrī Rādhāṣṭaka Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Okay, so it is Shri Srimad Bhakti Sharan Shanta Goswami Maharaj's disappearance day. So I will put a link to Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj's glorification of him in the chat. So if anybody would like to read about him, they have it right there. I don't think we'll have time to read about him today, so that's why I'm just giving the link. Okay, so I'll put it in Zoom also. All right, so let's do the Mangalacharan. Just one second. Okay, there, it's now in Zoom. Sorry, I meant to say YouTube. All right, let's do Mangalacharan. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gaudiya Gaurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanaya Maya varati mingilo daragatan udritya jivaniman Krishna prema sudabdi gahana sukam pradat prabhung tang bhaje. One second, let me clear my throat. Vande Bhakti Vinodangshi Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vrishabhanusutan Vitavamatanu Yamuna Tatanagaranandasutam Murali Kalagita Vinodaparang Bhajagodrumakananakunjavidum Smaragoragadadara Kelikalang Bhavagoragadadara Pakshachara Shrinugoragadadara Charukathang Bhajagodrumakanana Kunjavidum Tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina Iti vigyaya devi tvang nayamang charanantikam Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay Kshiptascha kamadtaranga madhye Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna Vrinde namaste charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There's Radhāṣṭaka. Okay. All right. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees. I see who is there. Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Rukmini Didi, Amal Krishna Prabhu, Mañjulālī Dīdī, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Deepika Didi. And let's see on YouTube and Facebook who is there. One second. Just opening up Restream. I see, oh, Vangsiwala Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams Prabhu, and Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams Maharaj, and Shubhananda Prabhu, and I see, I'm not sure how to say your name, but Barka Tanwar. Um, yes, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. And I see there are 10 devotees now watching on YouTube and Facebook. So pranams to all of you. If you write a comment, then I'll see your name. Also pranams to all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Ananda Pradayani Didi, Vrinda Didi, Anuradha Mataji, and everybody else. Dandavat pranams. So today we are joined by Mañjulālī Dīdī, and she will be going through Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs, which were later published in Gitavali. It's called the Rādhāṣṭaka. And in our Gaudiya Giti Gucha, Nandarani Didi, Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranams. Okay. So in the Bengali Gaudiya Giti Gucha published by Srila Bhakti-Pragan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he gave these categories to them. So the first two songs, Radhika Charana Parma and Virajara Pare. Pare, right? It should be Pare, not Pare. Anyways, I think that was my mistake. So God, I always see mistakes when I present the song. Um, so yeah, so there's the first two songs are Śrī Rādhāṣṭaka. That's the title he gave it. And then the next song is description of Śrī Radha's form and qualities. That's Ramani Shiromani. And then the next song is description of Śrī Radha's form, qualities, and pastimes. That's Rasika Nagari. And then the next song is the ornaments of Śrī Radha's bhavs and so forth. It's a song Mahabhav Chintamani. And then the next song is Śrī Radha's ability to attract Śrī Krishna and her supreme position. That's Varajavipine and Shatakoti Gopi. And then the glories of Śrī Radha Bhajan. Radha Bhajane Jadi. Oh, I don't think I shared this file with you, did I, Mañjulālī Dīdī? Anyhow, sorry if I didn't. But yeah, so I'll hand it over to Mañjulālī Dīdī now to begin. And oh, just one little thing I just want to mention. I'm just started preparing my classes for the Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur retreat, and I just started doing class number one. But when I finished that, Mañjulālī Dīdī helped me with the with the presentation on how to set it up. Also, it was very helpful. But once I do have kind of like something set up for the 5 days, if any of you would like, it'd be really helpful. I've never done a workshop before, so if any of you would like to join in a session, I'd do a private thing on Zoom. But if anybody would like to join that, let me know, and then I can have one practice run. You can be my guinea pigs. But yeah. Um, so I mean, I don't have it ready yet. I just prepared the first class, but once I do have it ready, if anybody's interested, that would be very helpful for me. All right. Haribol Mañjulālī Dīdī. Oh, and just sorry, one last thing. This today's program will go overtime because it's a lot to get through. So just letting you know all in advance that we're not going to be finishing at 8 o'clock. We'll be finishing somewhere around 8:30, maybe a little after 8:30. So if you would like to, if you have to leave at 8, it's all being recorded on YouTube, and so you could always come back and watch it later. If you have to leave, you can feel don't need to feel uncomfortable if you have to leave at 8 o'clock. So, all right, Haribol.
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Oma Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanan Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Acharya Simharupine Shishimad Bhakti Pragyam Keshavayiti Namine Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I pray to my Srila Gurudev and I offer my obeisances to my most beloved Srila Gurudev. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Satra Satra Shishimat Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and I beg for his costless mercy. In the same way, I offer my obeisances to all my Shiksha Gurus, to all our Rupanua Guru Varga, begging to all of them for their costless mercy. I offer my pranams to all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Radhakrishna, also begging for their mercy. And finally, I offer my obeisances to all Vaishnavis present, and also begging for the mercy of all of you. So actually, I feel today the topic is very elevated, and I feel like very unqualified to speak about this, but at the same time, these songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur are one of the most precious jewels that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given us. So I think it's an honor for me to try to somehow serve these songs, even little from far, but at least try to something. So all these 8 songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually are prayers for Srimati Radhika, and her glories are something that is unlimited, and actually only by the mercy of our Guru Varga, Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we can try to even touch one drop of her glories. Actually, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur himself, he says, there is one, it's in an article where he's speaking about the glories of Srimati Radhika in the day of Radhāṣṭami. And he say, the Sarvasva of Govinda. There is one verse now, he's saying Govinda Sarvasva. So she's Sarvasva, she's everything, all in all for Govinda. So what to speak for us? Like even she's, like Govinda himself considered her like her everything. So how can we like really even come close to understand how glorious she is? And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is actually so merciful. These prayers are very powerful, and these prayers are touching so many beautiful aspects of her, and it's also praying for her service. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, he himself also in that same article, he said like, without the guidance of Srimati Radhika, without her mercy, we could never be able to understand actually what means that she's the everything of Krishna. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur also explained that what makes Krishna, Govinda, wealthy, that's her sarvasva, her everything, and that's Srimati Radhika. What makes Krishna so glorious is actually her. So actually, like to try, I feel like that somehow we need to, these songs actually are so precious. So I think like I really hope that we can try to serve them. So Srila Bhakti Rakshakshya Goswami Maharaj in one of his books, he says something really beautiful. He says the aim of Srimad Bhagavatam is to establish Radhasya, the service to Srimati Radhika. This is actually the purpose of like for us, the most important scripture is Srimad Bhagavatam, and the purpose of that Srimad Bhagavatam is actually to establish the service to her. They say, and everything in Śrīmad Bhagavatam is prepared, like everything else of Śrīmad Bhagavatam is just to prepare us towards that. So we cannot, because all these prayers actually, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying for her service. This is our highest aspiration, and it's something so valuable. So that's why I feel like we need to be so careful trying to enter in these songs, in these words, in this glorification, in these prayers. Srila Bhakti Rakshakshya Goswami Maharaj say she's that zenith of all dedication, of all sacrifice, of all surrendering, of love. Like she's the personification of love. So just praying really to the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev and all our Shiksha Gurus, all our Guru Vargas, somehow that we can touch even one drop of the glories of her in these songs. And I feel like also Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given us many songs, but these songs are very, very special because here, like we want to come to the heart of our Guru Varga, and here he's opening his heart and he's like manifesting his more dear aspiration, like what is the most dear to him, and he's pressing in words. This is like the songs of our acharyas, they are so powerful because actually we want to come to their heart, and they themselves are opening their heart in the form of prayers. So if we want to come close to what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is and what is in his heart, definitely we need to try to serve these songs. But at the same time, I think it's very important that we understand that this is not just like a rasagula that I just eat it, and it's something like so valuable. We need to come with so much respect and honor, and like begging for mercy, because we cannot touch the glories of Srimati Radhika without the mercy of our Guru Varga. So, okay. So you can put the songs, Makar Bro. So I'll not explain everything. It's not possible to enter in everything in such a short time. There is some songs that I will give more emphasis, some that less, but still even whatever I'll be able to express is just very little. So in this
did I share the file with you? I can't remember if I gave you the Radhāṣṭakams. I didn't. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Please.
Okay. So in this first song, actually this first song is based in this verse that we just see there in the screen. this verse is actually very, very important. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami himself, he has some prayers that is his own sankalpa, his own vow, his own aspiration, and he's starting. This is the first verse of there. And if we want to achieve that, like what we just heard, like this Radhasyam, this is the most, this is the biggest, like the aspiration that we can get. And if we want to get this, we need to follow this verse. He's giving us the line of the three things that if we want to achieve that, like three things we for sure we need. So, and actually this verse is so important that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote a song, and also Srila Narottam Das Thakur, both they're expressing this song, because the three topics are like these three things that he's pointing out here are actually essential in our life. So if somehow we can not just like sing the song, but actually like take the importance of this and try to bring it in our life. So you can go to the song. Well, the song is there. I will explain these three things that is mentioned.
Narottam Das Thakur, he also wrote about it, huh? Was that in Prem Bhakti Chandrika?
Actually, it's 4 verses. It's in the Prema Bhakti Chandrika. We sing them as a song, but then there's like it's in like, I think it's 107 verses of Prema Bhakti Chandrika, and the 4 verses that come from there, and it's like it's expressing that the first 2 verses they're expressing also like somehow the same verse.
Very neat.
So here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur expressing this mood of Raghunath Das Goswami, saying, and everything is expressed if we don't have that. If we don't have that, then we will not be able to get it. That's the mood that Raghunath Das Goswami put in the verse, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur is keeping the same mood. So he's saying, Radhika Charana Padma, Sakala Śrī Rādhāṣṭaka, Jatane Jenahi Aradilo. So here is, so Radhika Charana Padma, the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. And here, even though Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying her lotus feet, but also in the verse is speaking about the dust at her lotus feet. But we understand that things that are very close. And Sakala Śrī Rādhāṣṭaka, here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying very beautiful. What are those lotus feet of Srimati Radhika? Are the treasure house of Shreya. Shreya is like the most auspicious, most valuable thing that is there. And what is that? Is Bhakti. Actually, Shreya can only be Bhakti. So, and not only that she's the source of all Bhakti, but she's like she herself personified the topmost class of devotion, the topmost class of love. So her lotus feet are like that treasure house of that Bhakti. And Jatane Jenahe Aradilo, if anyone doesn't worship, or doesn't serve, no, Aradilo means to worship, to serve. And here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying Jatane, like carefully. No, when we're speaking, about service, that part of being careful, it's very important. More when we're speaking about the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. Krishna himself wants to serve those lotus feet. So what to speak of? He's begging for that. So we cannot even imagine. So Jatane Jenahe Aradilo, if someone is not serving those lotus feet, very, very, very carefully. And then say Radha Padankita Dham, no, just keeping the same place. Vrindavana Jara Dham, Tahejena Asraya Korilo. So the second thing, so the first thing is for sure, we need to serve her lotus feet. We need to serve the dust at her lotus feet. And the second thing is like, we really need to take shelter. Tahejena Asraya Korila, those who don't take shelter of where? Of Vrindavan, that is her dham. And what is Vrindavan? Here Bhaktivinoda Thakur says very beautiful, Radha Padankita. No, Radha Padankita dham, it means like all Braj is all marked by the footprints of Srimati Radhika everywhere. If we want to find the dust of the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, where we can find it? In Vrindavan, in Braj. No, Vrindavan here actually means all Braj. So, and especially in those places where like very deep pastime places. So if we don't take shelter of Vrindavan, we will not be able to get the mercy of her. This is something also very important. Actually, our connection with Dham is something that it's very, very essential in our life. It's not just like there is many places that we can see like in instruction that we need to take shelter of the Dham. And so here is saying, if we actually want to achieve that service to Srimati Radhika, we cannot do it if we don't take shelter of the Dham. We cannot, like, without taking shelter of the Dham, it's just impossible. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur also, like, very beautiful says, like, our chanting of Nam cannot give us, like, the service to Krishna, that loving service to Krishna, if we have no connection with Dham. So having relation with the Dham is something very essential. And the third thing is a Radhika Bhava Gambhir. Here, just first, Radhika Bhava Gambhir means like the moods, what is in the heart of Srimati Radhika is something like very, very, very deep. Gurudev say, like, when Gurudev one time he was speaking about this song, he said, like, this, what is in her heart is so, so deep that even Krishna, who is the cause of all causes, who is the all-knowing, and he's like on top of everything, but he cannot understand her heart. He cannot understand what she's feeling. That's why he need to come as Mahaprabhu, just to try to test little what is her love, what she's relishing. Because Krishna is so astonished when she sees all the what she expresses. So then Radhika Bhava Gambhir, the love of Srimati Radhika, her emotions, everything in her heart is so deep. And Chitta Jeva Mahadir, and those great personalities who are Mahadir, they're like very, very deep and sober, that have those moods in their heart. And here, this is something actually very deep. This can mean only those who are her maid servants, because only the maid servants, they're so close to her that they have a same feeling, same mood with her. They can feel what she's feeling. That's the glory of those who are like her maid servants. They come in tadatmya, they become so close that they can feel what she's feeling. So he's saying, so those who's like, what is the wealth of their heart is they are so connected with Srimati Radhika that they can feel what she's feeling. And for us, actually, this Chitta Jeva Mahadir means like those maid servants, when they come in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu and they are teaching us how to come to these modes, means all our Guru Varga, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, Prabhupada, Gurudev, and all our Guru Varga, they are, and it's a Gana Sangha na koi lo jivane. If we don't associate with them, if we don't associate with their instructions, with their conceptions, we will never, ever, ever be able to achieve that service to Srimati Radhika. So here is saying, so there is these three things, and the three things are like very essential. So we need to take shelter, we need to worship, serve the lotus feet, the task of the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. We need to take shelter of the Dham, and we need to associate with those devotees whose everything is her. And then, so here is saying, Kemonesha Shyamananda, Rasa Sindhu Snanananda, Lapive Bujaho Ekaman. So if you don't do these three things, it's like Kemonesha Shyamananda Rasa Sindhu Snanananda, how you will be able to bathe in blissfully bathing in that ocean of ras, of love for Krishna, for Shyama Sundar. But here, actually, Srila Gurudev, one time when he was speaking about this song in one Radhastami, he says something even more deep. When we speak in here, Shyamananda actually means Shyama Ananda. It says it's not the ocean of love for Krishna, but it's the ocean of love that is in the heart of Srimati Radhika. And he said, like, we cannot get her love, but we can get the beauty of her love. So that's why actually saying if that, and Gurudev say, because this is what Mahaprabhu came to give. Anarpita charim chiram karunavatirna kalo samarpaitam unato ujjvala ras swa bhakti shriyam. So he say like, if we want to actually get that jewel, that gift that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give is the beauty of the devotion of Srimati Radhika. We need to follow these three things in our life. Otherwise, it's just impossible. So it's like Labive Bujava Ekaman, you should like very carefully understand that if you don't have these three things, you will not be able to get it. So you can move. So now here is start singing about her glory. So Radhika Ujjvala Rasira Acharya. So here is saying that she's the Acharya, about Ujjval Ras, of this loving service to Krishna. And Gurudev explains this very beautifully. She says actually she's the guru who can teach us how to serve Krishna, because she knows how to please Krishna. And Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, in that same glorification, for Srimati Radhika said that if we are not under her guidance, we will not be able really to serve Krishna. Only being under her guidance, we will be able to know perfectly how to serve in such a way that is pleasing to Krishna. So she is the acharya of that Ujjvala Ras. And Radha Madhava Sudha Prema Vicharya. So the love of Radha Madhava, the prem, is Shuddha, is completely pure. And this is something, Vicharya means like it's something for us to be contemplated on. You know? And but again, when we're speaking about only in Sadhu Sangha this is possible. Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur, he expresses, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoi Veakuti Kave Hama Bhuja Bose Jugala Piriti. We will only be able to contemplate and understand what is the love of Radha and Krishna only when we will make like our everything. We will become so eager for the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami, when we'll make their conceptions, their hearts, their everything like our most valuable thing. So only then we will be able to contemplate actually about. But this is for us, like actually to contemplate about the love is something that we need to go, but we need to do, but only under sadhu sangha, only under guidance. Otherwise, it's impossible. So, and then here now he's saying it's something very important. He says, "Jetarila Radha Pada Paramajatani." So anyone who is somehow is saying holding the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, and again here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying Paramajatani, like with so much great care and with so much love and affection and like so nicely. If someone is holding her lotus feet, if someone is serving her, then Sepaila Krishna Pada Amulya Ratani, then that person can achieve that like very priceless jewel of the lotus feet of Krishna. So, and I just wanted to connect a little with this, how in the last song of this Radhāṣṭaka, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is present there, like how without, how is Radha Vajane Mati Nahi, Radha Vajana Yadi Mati Nahi Vela, Krishna Vajana Tava Akarana Gela. If anyone is, if the desire to worship Srimati Radhika doesn't arise in us, then our worship of Krishna, it's in vain, you know. And then so, and he said, Kevala Madhava Pujab So Agyani, Radha and Adara Koroi Abhimani, those who are worshiping only Krishna and then like just giving up the worship of Srimati Radhika, they are like just proud and they are giving not proper respect to her, you know. So we need to understand, and this is something very powerful, she is the source of bhakti, all types of bhakti. She's like, she personifies, but she's also that source of bhakti. So without her mercy, it's impossible to get devotion for Krishna. One thing we are aspiring for, like a very special form of devotion, is Srila Raghunath Das Goswami expresses this very beautiful in his prayers to Radhakundāṣṭaka. He said, like, if anyone pleases Radhakunda, then by pleasing Radhakunda, it will come a creeper of love for Krishna. And from that creeper of love for Krishna will come a very beautiful flower. And that flower is the service to Srimati Radhika. So for us, that love for Krishna takes that form of a flower. The beauty of that love for Krishna will take a form of the service to Srimati Radhika, but it's not something that is separate. It's like that service to her is the flower of that creeper of love for Krishna. So this is very important to understand. We can never, like, there is people who say like, we only want Srimati Radhika and nothing more, but we can never separate. Even she always want to be with him. So, and without her mercy, there's not possible to speak about devotion at all. Like, she's the source of all devotion. So, and here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is expressing this very beautifully, saying like, without Radha Pada Vino Kavu Krishna Nahi Mile. If anyone, like without the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, without her mercy, without serving her, Krishna Nahi Mile, we cannot get Krishna, we cannot attain Krishna. And then he says even more beautiful. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's like very much like and this is something also very, that's the mercy of Mahaprabhu's associates in the line of Srila Rupa Goswami. They spoke so boldly about the glories of Srimati Radhika. That's why it's been told before Mahaprabhu, actually there was something about her glories, but was like in a very hidden way. But that's one of the most beautiful things. That's why we sing, no? Radhara Mahima, how is this? Yadi Gauranga Nahit. If Gauranga was not, he didn't come, who will know about the glories of Srimati Radhika? But actually we know only because of these great personalities who speak so boldly and like without, in such a, say here, Radha Radha Sira Krishna. Like Krishna is, he belongs to the maidservants of Srimati Radhika. This is something very strong to say. Actually, in that, also in the 8th song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, no, Radhika Dasi Yadi Hoi Abhimanyu Sigrai Milai Gokulakan. No, like if anyone has this identification of the maidservant of Srimati Radhika, that person will attain like this so quickly, Krishna. So attaining that position of her maidservant, it's something so elevated. We cannot even imagine. He's saying here something very valuable. He says Krishna belongs to the maidservants of Srimati Radhika. So we're aspiring for the topmost things. So at the same time, for that, we need to sacrifice everything. It's not a cheap thing. It's the highest thing that exists. So when we understand this, also we need to become in our practice so careful, and we need to, like when we're seeing all this Upadeshamrita, we need to follow each one of all these things if we actually want to achieve this. This is not a cheap thing. This is the most elevated thing. So, and then, so Chodata Dana Jana Khalatra Sutamita Chodata Karamagayam. So he's saying like for that, that's why we need to give up everything, saying wealth, followers, like in followers is also that desire of worship and recognition, wife and sons or daughters and friends and knowledge and fruitive activities. We need to give up everything. Without giving everything, is not possible. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, relinquishing all these things, no, one should become Radha Pada Pankaya Madhurata Sevana, Bhakati Vinoda Paraman. So one should become so much absorbed in this Madhurata Sevana, in the so sweet, loving service at the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. This is Bhakti Vinoda Paraman. So this is like the conviction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but actually, because this song is based in that conviction of Raghunath Das Goswami, actually his own, like that prayer of him is called Sankalpa. No, it's starting with Sankalpa. So he himself is showing his topmost aspiration. And if we want to, and we understand because we want to become followers of Rupa Goswami, and the topmost follower of Rupa Goswami is Raghunath Das Goswami. In his life, he showed what actually means Arupanuga. So this song, actually, that's why it's so valuable for us. This is our highest aspiration. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is even expressing, this is our highest conviction. So somehow we can try to say this song. So you can come to the next one. Time passes very fast. It's not here. So, okay. So the second one, I'll just go little very on. I will not enter deeply in the song. So here actually is speaking about the glory of Vrindavan. Vrindavan is such a sweet place that is on top of everything, no? And there in Vrindavan, and it's speaking like in a very poetic way. Say there in Vrindavan, there is this very astonishing tree. No, that's Krishna, and he's like a tamal tree, very beautiful. And there in that same Vrindavan, there is a very beautiful creeper that she's like fully golden, and this creeper is going to like on top of this very beautiful tree, and all the beautiful leaves and flowers of this creeper are all her gopis, all her sakis and her manjaris, they all decorated. And then this very beautiful tree and this very beautiful creeper, they're always engaging in very sweet pastimes there, and here, like he's speaking in a very sweet way. It's like the name of that creeper is Srimati Radhika. She is the one who is pleasing that Govinda, and she's like and then he's saying so beautifully how like this lata, this creeper, she cannot live without that tamal tree, and that tamal tree also cannot live without that lata. And that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur at the end of the song, you can just come to the end of the song. So at the end of the song, he's saying very beautiful, he's saying Bhakati Vinoda Milana Dohar Nachahe Kakona Binu Kichuar. So he's saying like Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually, he wants to help in the meeting of them. That's the life of the Manjaris. They just always want to help in the meeting of Radha Krishna. I'd say Nachahe Kakona Binu Kichuar. I don't want anything else. The only thing, their life and soul, everything is the happiness of Srimati Radhika. And her happiness is like you say, Selata Milan Sada Kaleyache. She's always wanting to be with Krishna. So her maid servant, they always just trying to help in so many ways just to make them meeting together. So sorry, this song will just take like this because otherwise we will not be able to go through all the all the song. So you can come to the next song. And then so this song is speaking like about her form and her quality. And then will not touch everything, but like some part there. So we say Ramani Shiromani. She's the crushed jewel of all the Ramanis, of all the beloveds of Krishna. No, and this we will see, like when we will see these two, the 6 and 7 song, we will see very clearly what means that she's Ramani Shiromani. Like she's the most dear of Krishna, and she's Vrishabhanu Nandini. She's the very dear daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj, and somehow because they have that loving, like Krishna, he loves that we call him like Yashodanandan. So her also, Vrishabhananandi. And then Nila Vasana Paridhan, she's dressed in a Nila Vasana, like a blue cloth. And China Purata Jini Varna Vikashini. So her complexion, her Varna, her complexion is very shining, and it's Jini means it's defeating this China Purata, this cut gold. Like when we see gold, it's something so bright, shining, and but her, and in like, so I don't know how to say in English. Sorry, I wish I wish I could. It's so. But her complexion, it shines even more. The feet is even totally the beauty of gold. Like it becomes nothing. And actually, there is nothing who can compare, because what is her shining is her love. What makes like if any person is just like very effulgent, it's actually devotion what makes someone effulgent, and she's that personification of love. So we cannot even imagine how effulgent and how like beautiful is her complexion. Even it's so much that we know that when Mahaprabhu, he was doing his pastimes here, he took her complexion, and Mahaprabhu has two main weapons like to transform everyone. So one is the Nam, but the other was his complexion. Anyone who will see him, he will transform him. And that's only because it's the power of the love of Srimati Radhika. It's so powerful. Just having darshan of that can like fully make that prem appear in the heart. So yeah, we cannot even imagine how that cannot be compared even to defeating that golden shining. So, and Bada Kavari means like her braid is like very nicely tied, no? And then Hari Pran, she's the life and soul. Krishna, like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was saying, this is something we need to understand. She's everything for Krishna. And this we will also understand in these last two songs. Bhaktivinoda Thakur expresses this like really beautifully. So, okay. Here I'll just go. Avarana Mandita Harirasa Pandita Tilaka Shoshovitava. So she's like a very beautifully decorated. Actually, this we can pass to the next one. We'll see this more deep. This same thing is going more deep in one full song, so we just go. And then here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is expressing Sakala Tajiya Se Radha Charani Dasi Hoi Bajo Paramajatani. And here I just want to make emphasis that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, every time when he's speaking about the service of Srimati Radhika, he says Paramajatani with so much care. Like we need to understand, even to serve these songs, even to try to serve these moods that he's present here, we need to say Paramajatani extremely carefully. And extremely carefully also means fully under guidance, with a full surrender, with a mood of service, because otherwise it's just not possible. So he's saying here, Sakala Tyajya. If we want to actually serve her lotus feet, we need to give up everything else. We cannot keep anything with us. If we keep any kind of desire or any kind of anything, we cannot achieve her lotus feet. This is the most elevated thing. This is the most valuable thing. So here's in Sakala Tyajya, say like giving up everything, no? Radhika Charane Dasi Hoye Bajo. Like I will serve those lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, becoming her servant. And then this next part is actually taken from it's very much expressing the same moods that Raghunath Das Goswami is expressing in Manashiksha, where he wanted to show how this superiority, the supremacy of Srimati Radhika, on top of, there is so many very like powerful woman personalities, no? And then, but how her beauty, her love, her everything is superior to everyone else. So here is saying Saundarya Kirana. Kirana means just like a ray of Saundarya, of her beauty. Deki Ayahara, when Rati means Rati is the wife of Kamadev, Gauri means the wife of Lord Shiva, and Lila means it's one of the potencies of Narayan. So when they just see the Kiano, just one ray of her beauty, they are like very beautiful. We can imagine like Cupid is like, he captivates everyone. So we cannot even imagine how beautiful is his wife. And Gauri, it's considered like it's Maya Devi herself. So she's extremely beautiful, you know. And Lila, she's the potency of Lord Narayan. So but for them, even just seeing one ray, this is our Acharya. Srila Raghunath Goswami also expresses, they speak so strong about how glorious is Srimati Radhika. He is saying just one ray. What to speak about her full beauty? Just one ray of her beauty fully defeated the beauty of all these great, like Rati, Gauri, Lila, no? And then I can come down. Sachi Lakshmi Satya Saubhagya Bolane Parajita Hoya Yahara Charani. So here it's saying another thing. Sachi, who is the wife of Indra, Lakshmi, like the consort of Lord Narayan, and Satyabhama, no, Satya means Satyabhama. Between all the queens of Krishna, the topmost of all of them is Satyabhama. So three of them, they are considered very fortunate. Now, Satyabhama is the dearest queen of Krishna, and Lakshmi, she's the consort of Narayan, and like the demigods, everyone is worshiping her. And then, and Sachi, but even their fortune become nothing in front of the great fortune of Srimati Radhika. Like it cannot even compare. So because why? Because she's the Sarvasva of Krishna. He's everything for Krishna. Who can compare to someone like Krishna's life? It's for her. So we cannot even like the great fortune of anyone can compare to hers. You know. So then, so it's going in different levels. Now we came here now, even until like Lakshmi and the queens, but even more. What to speak? Not just that. No, it's a Krishna Vashikari Chandravali Adi. Now speaking about the gopis. The gopis are all very special, and between all the gopis, there's two that are very prominent now: Srimati Radhika and Chandravali. Chandravali is also very special and very like a great gopi. But and why the gopis are so special? Because by the love, they're so powerful, they control Krishna. But here saying Krishna Vashikari Chandravaladi Parajaya Mane Hoya Vivadi. Actually, they can control Krishna, but their controlling Krishna is limited in some way. So in comparison to her capacity to control Krishna, they become fully defeated when it's in relation to Srimati Radhika. And we will be able to understand this when we will see these songs 6 and 7. Like even when there is the Rasa Lila, even Krishna is there with everyone else, but he gave up everything for her, just for her. You know? And for us, we can think like our Guru Varga, they are so merciful. These are like not exaggeration or anything. They just want us, because when we have full faith in something, when we understand how glorious something, then this desire, this aspiration to serve her can come really in our heart, you know, like deeply. They themselves are full of that desire. And in this glorification, they are showing how they're like a mood of service to her, and how for them, she's everything, you know. And then so somehow if we can also like imbibe these moods in our heart, like there is nothing who can compare to her, and then that mood of service to her then can come in our heart. So that's why here at the end of this song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Haridaita Radha Charana Prayashi, Bhakati Vinoda Shigodrumavashi. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's aspiring for becoming, so it's aspiring for the lotus feet of that Haridaita. He's not saying even her name. He's saying that one, she who is the beloved of Krishna. And because this is how also like she likes to be seen in this way, that she's the dear of Krishna. So we are wanting the lotus feet of her, of Srimati Radhika, who is the dear, most beloved of Krishna, of Hari. So you can go to the next. Okay, so this song, I'm so sorry, but I will not enter in this song, because actually this song is from this Ashtaka of Raghunath Das Goswami. And this song is very poetic. So actually, to understand, you need to explain like every single thing, but there is not enough time. So I thought like this, because Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is expressing every single thing he says, it's like very deep and expressed in a very poetic way. So yeah, I'll just, you can just go to the last verse. We just see the prayer. And here, this is one thing that is also very beautiful about these songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that he's not only praying for her, but he's also praying to those who are like fully engaged in serving her, those who can, by their mercy, we can achieve her service. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Bhaktivinoda Rupa Raghunate Kahaya Charana Dhari. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's holding the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami, and he's like saying this like with so much he's so eager to be able to achieve this. He say, Heno Radha Dasya Sudhira Sampada. He speaks such a beautiful language. He say, Heno Radha Dasya, that service of all our Guru Varga will be begging when you will be merciful to give me that, your most valuable wealth, the service to her. So, okay, we can go to the next. Sorry that I need to go so fast on this. There's so many things that could be said and everything, but there is always a thing with time. So
And I
now
always say
this,
this, that we'll be doing another program after Gaur Purnima time, and in that time we can just spend a whole session on one song, and we don't need to rush through 8 songs. So yeah.
yeah, that's really beautiful because it's something 1.5 hours is too little. So okay, now this fifth song, actually, to try to understand this song, it's something like Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. He composed these verses that are called Premamboja, Maranakya, Stavaraja. This is Stavaraja, is the king of all his prayers. And then in these prayers, he's speaking about Srimati Radhika in a way like we know Srimati Radhika is Mahabhava Swarupini, means she personifies Mahabhava. But what is the meaning that she personifies love? We can have just like some idea by this. Like he's describing how everything in her is such an expression of her love. Everything, every single aspect of her, everything is just one expression of love for Krishna. So, and this verse is also very important. Actually, Raghunath Das Goswami composed this Premamboja Maranakya Stavaraja, and then also here when Mahaprabhu, he was speaking with Rai Ramananda, and that conversation is so deep. After Rai Ramananda established the supremacy of the glory of the love of Srimati Radhika, Mahaprabhu himself asked, can you speak little to me about Krishna Tattva, Radha Tattva, Prem Tattva, no? And then here, when when Rai Ramananda, he's describing about what is Radha Tattva. If you want to understand very deeply Radha Tattva, we need to understand this. He actually expresses the same verses, like but it's the same meanings, but in they are expressed there in the Spayaras in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's so beautiful. And so in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the 4th chapter in Adi, also when Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is describing the reason why Mahaprabhu came. So one of the main reasons is because he wanted to relish about her love. So there, when he said, for us to understand this, we need to understand who is Krishna, who is Srimati Radhika. So when he's going to speak about Srimati Radhika, he said, Krishna Prema Bhavita Janra sorry, Chitendriya Kaya. So here he's saying very beautiful, like her body, her heart, her senses, everything of her is Krishna Prema Bhavita. It's fully it's fully like a full of that Krishna Prem, So, and this is what is expressed in this song. So first thing is saying Mahabhava Chintamani. And so she personified an Udbhavita Tanukani, She's like that, her form is that Mahabhav, but here Mahabhav, it's been described as Chintamani. And what means that actually that love, that Mahabhav is Chintamani? Actually, this is being expressed in Chaitanya Charitamrita when Ramananda is expressing to Mahaprabhu. When he said like this, Mahava Chintamani, he said, Krishna Vancha Purna Kore Ei Karya Tanra. So it means that this Mahabhav of Srimati Radhika. Chintamani means something like whatever you think, like a wish fulfilling gem, like whatever you think, it's fulfilled, you know. But what means that is Mahabhava Chintamani is that her love can fulfill all Krishna's desire. Like it's only her love, and because it's from her, then all devotion is coming. Anything that is pleasing to Krishna, it's actually bhakti, and the source of all that bhakti is her. And when that bhakti becomes in the most condensed form, like the most elevated form of love, and takes a form, is that Srimati Radhika. And her everything is just to fulfill Krishna's desire. That's why it's like when we were seeing before, like without her, we cannot really please Krishna. So Chintamani means she can fulfill fully and in all aspects. And like whatever Krishna desires, she manifested. Whatever, like that's why she can fulfill all Krishna's desires. So now we'll not see all of them, but we'll see some of the descriptions of like how she personified that love. So yeah, like I say, I will not go through all of them, but like, for example, say Lajapata Vastra Jar. So what is her cloth? Her silken cloth that she's eating is her shyness. No, and the shyness is a very beautiful quality of the woman. So when we see the cloth of Srimati Radhika, it's not just a cloth. What is covering her body is actually her shyness. And then say Sandarya Kunkuma Sar. And her kumkum is that red powder that is put in her feet and like that's decorating her. What is this kumkum? It's not just an ordinary powder, it's her beauty. Her beauty is like taking that form in this kumkum. And then Kasturi Chitita Kalivar. And then this, all the decoration that are like all this, she's like very, sorry, and then she's very beautifully decorated all over her body. And I don't know what pronouns, but I'm sorry. So, and this next line is very beautiful. Say, Kampa Shupulakaranga, Stamba Sweda Swarabanga, Jarya, no, Unmad, and Navaratna Dhara. Here, like, we understand, like, what are her ornaments? Her ornaments, like, it's just like they're not just external, just ornaments, but actually every one of her symptoms of ecstasy, these are actually her ornaments. Her tears, her standing on end, like her changing color, when she becomes tamba, when she's sweating, each one of these are her ornaments. We cannot even imagine. This for us is like, it sounds like, but that, like Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta told, only when we will get her mercy, we will be able to understand what means that actually her ornaments are made of all her scent of ecstasy is what decorating her. And that's also like a understanding, like really everything in her is an expression of her love. And then, so you can come little down. So then he's saying very beautiful, he say, Pancha Vimshatika Guna, Pula Mala Shushovana. So her garland is just not just flowers. What are the flowers that are making that garland that is, when anyone is putting a garland, it's like you're giving honor to that person. So what makes her like so like I wish English would be more easy. So what like what is decorating all this garland, I can find the word. So it's her, all her qualities. Pancha, it's been described there's 25 main, even though her qualities are unlimited, but I think it's Rupa Goswami is quoting there is 25 main qualities of her. So then this Pancha Vimshatika means 25. So these 25 qualities, these are the flowers and that are making the garland that is coronated. That makes her like so worshipable. And then I just randomly said like Pihita Mana Damil. Damil means her braid. So her braid is actually her man. No, it's not just an ordinary braid, but actually what represents her braid, decorated there with flowers and everything, this is actually her man. Her and man is a very difficult word to translate because man is an expression of love. When the love takes a crooked form, that's like becomes like a contrary. I cannot say in words. And then like Saubhagya Tilaka Ujjwala. So anyone like the first thing and the most visible thing in us is our tilak. And what is her tilak? Her tilak is bright, like shining so much, and this is showing her great fortune. There is no one, like we saw before in the song before, there's no one who can be as as fortunate as her. She's everything for Krishna. And then say, Krishna nama yasa karnolas. Even though here is saying karnolas, like the happiness of her ears, and means also like her earrings. No, what are her earrings? Are Krishna's name and Krishna's glories. That's what's always there in her ears, and this is what gives her the most happiness to her ears. Is just to hear about Krishna's name, about his glories. And especially where they will say, like when the manjaris there, this is something, sorry, I feel even shy to say, but when they are decorating her, they are making her remember, like, oh, you remember, like when they put in the nupur, say like, oh, do you remember with the ankle bell, no? Like, you remember when Krishna, stop everything just to put you back the ankle bell. Like, they're saying so many things that make her like so blissful. And then, so just a few more, and then we go. Okay, so Ragatam Bulita Oshta. So the what is this like in her lips? Her lips are like reddish because of this tambul, no? This like a betel nuts, but this is not just like this reddish there. It's actually her rag. He very strong and deep attachment for Krishna. That's the very reddish, beautiful color there in her lips. And then Kautilya Kajala Spashta. So what is like when we see this black ointment in her eyes, what is this? Actually, Kautilya means her crooked nature. In one ways, is that like that's expression like in the same word, this Kautilya, it's used there when this the description, when Ramanan is speaking about when Shrimati Radhika leaves the Rasa Lila. She becomes like this because that's part of her love. Like he says that everyone else, like their love is like very direct, but her not. Like it takes, and why it takes for me, say like actually quotes one verse of Rupa Goswami. He said like her love is like the movement of a snake. Snake never goes straight, never. Like a snake will always move like this, you know. And why her love is like this, and this is something we need to understand, because she's expert in pleasing Krishna, and it's just because this pleases Krishna the most. Many they say like, why she need to become angry with Krishna? Why? But this is actually, she knows perfectly how is the best way to please Krishna. So that's why her love manifested whatever would please Krishna the most. So the crooked nature of her love is just like the best way of enhancing the meeting with Krishna, making everything like more juicy, more like a sweet, more. If everything is direct, then it just loses flavor. And then you can just go a little. I think, yeah, I think I'll go to the I'll go to the prayer, because the last two songs. So here, Eheno Radhika Pada, Tomadera Shushampada, Dante Trina, Yache Tavapai. So Eva Bhaktivinoda Radhāṣṭaka, Rupa Raghunatha Dehotai. So here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is like very beautifully praying. He's saying again, he's praying here to the lotus feet of Srila Rupa and Raghunath Das Goswami. You know? So, and he's taking a very humble position. This is the only way we can approach this. He say, E Bhaktivinoda Din, like this very fallen Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And he say, Dante Trina Yache Tavapai. He's like holding a straw in his teeth. Like this is a way of like showing, like the animals keep straw in the teeth. So it's taking a very, very humble position. And then he's saying, he's praying and telling to them, no, Eheno Radhika Pada, Tomadera Shushampada. Like those lotus feet of Srimati Radhika means the service to her. Is your Shushampada, is your very great wealth, no treasure. So this is your treasure. So it's like, if you're merciful, you can give it to me. No? So that's why he said like, Radha Dasyam Britakan, and he's praying like, just one particle. Like this is your biggest wealth, and you have like so much of this, but just give me one particle of that nectar, amrita, of the service of Srimati Radhika. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying like very, very beautifully. And somehow he's so merciful. He's giving us like a most valuable prayer. So you can go now to the next song. So now these two songs, they come together. And then these two songs are actually so valuable. We cannot even imagine, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur has actually given us something so valuable here. When we see in the Rai Ramananda Samvad, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is considered one of the most important parts of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And here, even though we can see from different perspectives, but in one way, like he's establishing the glory of the love of Srimati Radhika, when he's going one thing after another, and then he described the glories of the love of the gopis. But then Mahaprabhu said, like, oh, can you tell me something more? And he said, like, until now, nobody asked me like something higher than this. And then to establish the glory of Srimati Radhika and the glory of her love, he's actually taking this pastime, the pastime of Rasa Lila. So these two songs are actually a description of the Rasa Lila. And we need to understand that the Rasa Lila is not just a pastime. The Rasa Lila is something so valuable. For one side, the Rasa Lila is the glory of Srimati Radhika. And we will be able to understand how the Rasa Lila is actually a glory of her love by these two songs. So, and when Rai Ramananda is explaining to Mahaprabhu about the glory of Srimati Radhika by this, because first he described one verse that is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then, but in Srimad Bhagavatam, it was not like with Krishna, with Srimati left, and then the gopis, when they were searching, is that verse where they say like, oh, they saw some footprints and they don't know who she is, you know. So Mahaprabhu said that here is not so clear, like to whom he is. Maybe Krishna is not showing it so clear because he's afraid of maybe there is someone more dear than he's just hiding, you know. So the deepness of Krishna's love for her is not like clearly established. So then Rai Ramananda say, okay, then I will tell you, and then he starts speaking about this Basant, the Rasa Lila. The Rasa Lila happens in the spring. And there, in all the description, there is one verse, and this verse is essential if anyone wants to understand what actually Rasa Lila means. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, explaining a part of one verse that Ramananda quotes that is coming from Gita Govinda. He says, Samyak Sara Vasana Krishnera Rasalila Vasanete Radhika Shrinkala. This, like, just in one payar of Bengali, these words are so, like, here is contained how Rasalila, what is Rasalila, and why Rasalila is actually the glory of Srimati Radhika. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has expressed all this verse in these two songs. So he said, Samyak Sara Vasana. So, and here is not just, you could say like the desire of Krishna, but he says Samyak, like completely essence, like not just the essence, but the essence like in complete way. Like he's bringing it to the topmost limit. Like, so the complete essence of Krishna's desire. So it means like the deepest, most deep desire of Krishna is Rasa Lila. So what Krishna wants the most is this Rasa Lila. And he's saying Rasa Lila Vasanete Radhika Shrinkala. And the reason why he wants so much the Rasa Lila is Srimati Radhika. So if we somehow we can understand like the glory of her, and if we can just understand like this, I think it's like that eagerness to serve her can like blossom in our hearts, you know. So we can come to the song. So he said, Paraja Vipine. Here first, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is speaking about the scene there before this Rasalila. No? He said, Paraja Vipine, in this forest of Braj, no? Yamuna Kule, there at the banks of Yamuna. There's Mancha Manohara, there's a very beautiful platform, and this platform is there for Rasalila to happen. No? And this platform is Shobita Fule, it's very beautiful, decorated with so many flowers. And then around there is this Banaspati Lata Tushaye Aki. There is like a beautiful trees. And in these trees, there's also all these creepers. And trees together with creepers is also something that is stimulating and then their loving desires. No? And then Tushaye Aki, like this scene is so beautiful no, and these creepers and these trees that are tusayaki, they are like very pleasing to the eyes to see. This is one very poetical way of seeing is how beautiful is all that. And then Tadu Parikato Dakhaipaki. And then on top of all these trees and creepers, there's Dakhaipaki. There's all these pakis, all these birds that are singing like very beautifully. And here I just want to share this because I really like it. There is one song of Narottam Das Thakur, and there Narottam Das Thakur says something very beautiful. He say, Madhavi Kunjera Pari, Sukha Vashi Shukashari, Gai Veka Radha Krishna Ras. Now it's in one of his prayers when he's very eagerly wanted to reside in Dham. And there he said, like, oh, there is all this grove of Madhavi flowers. Now there's a kunja that is made all these Madhavi flowers. And there's very happily, they're sitting one she parrot and male parrot. I don't know how you say he and she parrot. And then what they doing? Gaidek Radha Krishna Ras. They singing, but what they singing about? Radha Krishna Ras. They're speaking about all these beautiful pastimes of Radha Krishna, about their beauty, about their nectar. So all this. So for me, whenever I think about this, it's like they're just not just birds that are singing there. They're all singing about the glories of Radha and Krishna. They're singing about their beauty. They're singing about like all their beautiful exchanges. And so in this way, they're stimulating so much also that atmosphere. So then you can go a little up. So Malaya Anila Bahaya Dhire. So here speaking about there is like the breeze, always like when you speak about, there's this breeze that comes from the Malaya hills. And it's considered something like very cooling. Why? Because in the Malaya hills is where the sandal sandal trees are there. No? So that's why it's considered like the breeze that comes from the Malaya hills is very cooling in nature. So then all this breeze from the Malaya hills is high dhire, is going very slow. No? Like we have this dhira samira, no? Like with the wind is going so slow. Why? Because also the wind want to see them, what they're doing, how they're doing their pastime. So that's why the wind also is going so slowly and just bringing like very nice freshness there. And he said, Ali kula madu lobhete pire. And there also there is like this, alikul means all these bumblebees. And then madhu lobhete, they are like so eager. They're roaming here and they're just so eager to drink honey, you know. But here also we can understand something a little more deep, like Srila Krishna Kaviraj Goswami in his Śrī Rādhāṣṭaka, he said, there is one line I really, really like very much. He say, Krishna Mata Bringa Keli Pula Pushpa Bhatika. So he's saying in this Srimati Radhika is like that garden of all the kind of beautiful flowers with Krishna that is like a bumblebee. They're like so happily, so eager to drink that nectar. Just he went to go here and then, and she is so expert, like, just to manifest everything so that he can. So I think like also this Alikula Madhu, it can be also that bumblebee. So Basantira Raka Urupatada Komude Bitare Adarashada. So this here is Basantira, it's like the Raka, it's referring to this full moon of this spring. Basant is the season of the spring season. And then this full moon of this, when you have the full moon, and especially this spring moon, it's like so beautiful and it's giving all her race, no, and out of love, you know. And then we know from in Srimad Bhagavatam is described, no, when Krishna saw the moon, then he also becomes so much eager. So yeah, the presence of the full moon is something very special in the Rasalila. So then he say Emata Samaye Rasikavara. So Emata Samaye, at that moment, no, in all this very beautiful atmosphere, Rasikavara, the best of those who relish ras, no. Say Arambila Rasa Muralidhara, that Muralidhara, Krishna who is holding the Murali, no? He Arambila Rasa, he started the Rasalila. Now here Bhaktivinoda Thakur in a very short, he will describe like this Rasalila. So he says Satakoti Gopi Majete Hari Radha Sahanache Ananda Kori. So there is Satakoti Gopi, millions of gopis there. And in middle of all these millions of gopis, no, Majete Hari means like in the middle, Krishna is Radha Sahanache, he's dancing together with Srimati Radhika there in the middle, and Nanda Gauri being like so blissfully, like he's so happy with that. Like we heard, like Samyak Sarabhasana, the essence, like the complete essence of Krishna's desires is this Rasa Leela. So now he's there. So you can go to the next. So Madhava Mohini Gaiya Gita. So Srimati Radhika, she's been addressed here as Madhava Mohini, means like that one who's enchanting, the enchantress of, sorry, I don't even know how you pronounce that, but the enchantress of Madhav. His Gaiya Gita, she's singing songs so beautifully, no? And her singing, if only just her completion, everything is already so captivated. What to speak when she, when whatever is inside it start manifesting in the form of words, we cannot even imagine. So when she's singing, it's a Harilo Sakalachita. It's like a captivating the heart of Jagatachita, means like the heart of the whole universe, of all living entities. No one to speak about Krishna. It's just he's captivating everyone. And he says Stavara Jangama. Stavara means like those who are like living entities that are non-moving, and Jangama like the ones that are moving. Mohila Sati, she's captivating all of them, and she's Sati. She's like the most chaste lady. And if we go to the son of the son, we didn't see that one, but there's like so many times Bhaktivinoda Thakur expressed it like she's Sati. She's the most chaste, you know. Why? Because her love is only for Krishna. Her everything is only for Krishna. We can see like everything of her is just expression of her love for Krishna. You know? And he say Haralo Chandra Valiramati. And here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is expressing like she even defeats the pride of Chandravalin. And you can go a little down. So then Matiya Varaja Kishoraman, after having turned Krishna's heart, she fully turned Krishna's heart. And then Antarita Hare Radha, then Srimati Radhika left the Rasa Leela. She just disappeared from the Rasa. So then Bhaktivinoda Paramagan, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur is seeing that there's some problem will come now that she is not there. And say Rasa Vangalo Aji Radha Vihani. Without Srimati Radhika now, the Rasa Leela has fully stopped. And this because also Krishna, he wants to show also the glory of her love. You know? In the same way that Krishna, like the devotees feel so much happiness in glorifying the Lord also feels so happy in glorifying her beloveds, you know, her devotees. But who is her topmost is her, like Krishna also feels so much happiness in glorifying her. So all this stopping of Rasali or everything, this is just to show her glory. So here, yeah, Krishna by this showing her supremacy. So you can come to the next song. So and this first line, this is show like this is something very important. Satakoti gopi madhavaman rakite narilo korijatan. So here we can understand, like, for example, when Srila Sanatana Goswami in his Brihad-bharatamrita, in the first canto, he's describing how Narad, he's trying to find the topmost recipient of mercy of Krishna. He wants to find what is the best devotee, like saying simple. So he goes like from different places, one place another, and the next one and the next one, and we can see like in every place he goes, they're already like so glorious, but it's still like they always send him to someone higher, no? So he comes to Indra, then Brahma, then Shiva, then Hanuman, then Prahlad, then Hanuman, and then goes to the Pandavas, and then the Pandavas, even like when we see the devotion, there's also very special, but they say, no, you should go to the Yadavas, and the Yadavas say, no, you should, like Uddhav, you know, and when Uddhav himself, Krishna is saying, you're more dear than my own life. But then Uddhav saying like, when he saw the glory of the Vrajavasis, he understood actually like his love is nothing in comparison to them. So then comes Braj, you know, and in Braj, the sakas of Krishna, they're so dear. You know, they give, like they play in his shoulders, and Krishna loves them so much, and they love Krishna so much. They're so special, but even higher than them is Nanda. And then Yashoda Maya. Yashoda Maya is so dear that she even could bind Krishna, who is like, who can bind Lord? It's like, it's impossible, but her love is so high, no? And then, but even higher than her love is the love of the gopis, because the love of the gopis, they have fully given themselves, is so selfless, and they are like fully giving sacrifice for Krishna. Everything they're serving with their whole beings to Krishna. So her love, it's on top of everyone else. But here saying Satakoti Gopi Madhavaman Rakita Narilo Koriyatan, even millions of those gopis who are full of so much love, Madhavaman Rakita Narilo, they could not keep Krishna. When Krishna was there in the Rasalila and Srimati Radhika left, even though there were so many gopis and they have so much love, they could not keep Krishna there. They couldn't. And this is just when Ramananda is also speaking about the glory of Srimati Radhika. He says, actually, the glory of the love of Srimati Radhika cannot be seen in words. But he said, by this we can have Anuman, he used this word Anuman, we can have just an inference, just one idea how glorious is her love, that even like in middle of like millions of gopis, they could not do anything. They could not stop Krishna. He ran just for her. And then and we can understand like it's really not possible to say her glory is in words, because even Krishna himself doesn't understand. He himself is coming as Gauranga Mahaprabhu and throwing so much just to be able to just relish even little of her love. So, but in these two lines somehow it's showing like how glorious is her love. And then so he and Bhaktivinoda Thakur in these songs expresses so beautifully. He say Beno gite dake radhikanam eso rade daka yesham. So Krishna then he's with his flute. What he's playing in his flute, this Radhikanam. He's just calling to Srimati Radhika. And eso Radha is like, come back, come here, Radha, please, please. Krishna is Dakayasham. He's like after all these gopis are there and they all want just to please Krishna, but as soon as she left, Krishna just like he's there with his flute and she's calling out for her. It's like, please, Radha, please come back, And then Bangiya Sirasa Mandaletave. So at that time when this Rasa Lila was stopped, Bangiya, no? Radha Ambeshane Chale Javi. Actually, it's Krishna who's stopping because Krishna is not there. Rasa Lila cannot happen. So he stopped this Rasa Lila. And why? Because Radha Ambeshane, he's going to find Srimati Radhika. As soon like he's trying to find her. And how he's trying to find her? Here, it's very deep towards Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He's showing how eager Krishna is for her. He's saying, Deka diyo radhe rako ho pran. It's so powerful. Say, Deka diyo radhe, like Srimati Radhika, please give me your darshan. And you say rako ho pran is like rako ho pran means like save my life. So in one way, it's like if you're not there, like I cannot keep alive, So if you want, I'm dying, without you, I'm just like literally dying. So if you want to bring my life, like please give me your darshan. With that kind of eagerness, Krishna is just running and searching for her everywhere. And in Boliya Kandaye Kananekan, so that Krishna, in the forest, while searching for her, he's telling in this way, no, and he's crying and crying and so eagerly, like just if you don't see me, I will just die. And then here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then he expresses when finally he finds Srimati Radhika. And he said, Nirjana Kanane, like in a very secluded grove, Radhare Dhari, he's embracing Srimati Radhika. And say, Miliya Parana Juraya Hari. So the meeting, when he again can meet with her, Juraya Hari, that like relieves his heart. His heart, he was feeling like dying. But as soon as he can be again with her, like all his life, he comes back to life. And then here, these two lines is like the expression of like that, like how the love of Srimati Radhika is topmost, and how she's like the Sarvasva, the most dear Krishna. And the day we can actually conceive this, that we will be able to even enter in just one drop of really realizing her glories, then our life will be successful. That aspiration to serve her will be like there, So he's saying, Bole tu hubina kahararas. Krishna, once he meet with her, and like he's like so happy, finally he's embracing her. And what he's saying, without you, what is the point of Rasa Lila? Without like Rasa Lila, we just heard before, is the top, like the complete essence of Krishna's desire. but Rasa Lila has no reason if she's not there. So like, without you, what is the point of Rasa Lila? My Rasa Lila is just for you. It's just to be with you. Otherwise, for me, Rasa Lila has no point. That's why even though there are millions of gopis, they cannot keep Krishna, because the reason of Rasa Lila is her. It's only her, really. And he's saying here something very powerful. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is so merciful to express this for us. He said, "Tuhu lagi more baraja vas." I'm actually residing in Braj only because of you. You know, what to speak about the Rasa Lila, even my residing in Braj, you know, and then it's only because of you. And just like when something very small there, Srila Gurudev, when in Brihadvatamrita in the second canto, when speaking about different forms of the Lord, not just showing the speciality of every form of the Lord according to the place where he is and who are worshiping him, then he explains like very beautifully. And then I'll just say in short, actually needs time to explain, but Gurudev say actually what makes Krishna so special. And then he say actually like there's two things, no? The speciality of his ras and the speciality of his associates. So it's actually she who makes Krishna so special. No, if she will not be there, because only Krishna will manifest his potency according to with whom is related. The Lord, that's why it takes so many forms. He will just take a form that can reciprocate with the mood of whoever is worshiping him. But so only in front of Srimati Radhika he can manifest himself fully, to the fully degree. So we know Krishna in Braj is the topmost, but only because of her. And her love is there, only there. Then Krishna can manifest himself fully. So it's her glory, not his. So then you can come to the last. And this is here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is playing very beautiful. After he established how she's the most supreme and her love is the topmost. He say, Ehe no Radhika charanatale bhakati vinoda kandiya bole. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur crying, he's telling, like he's weeping there at the feet of her, and then he's saying this, Tu agana maje, amarigani, like Kinkora Korea Rakoapani. So he's like, please, you keep me with you. Amare, like, Tuagana Maje means like within all the group of your very personal servants, Amare Gani, count me as one of them, as your kinkari. Like we heard before, like kinkari, like they always kinkar on me, always ready to do something. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying like directly to her, he's saying like, oh, please, you count me as one of yours, like keep me as yours, accept me as your maidservant. So about the last song, because I just already say something before, I will not touch, but I just want to say here this song, like we saw parts of this song, the most important. And here, so just to end, like all these songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this is actually our higher aspiration. We cannot even imagine how valuable they are. Like we saw how Krishna himself is like, my reason of Braj is just you. So we cannot even understand like how valuable are these gems that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given us. These are one of the most important songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. These are the deepest ones of his heart. So even though I feel like personally I have no qualification at all to come to this, but there is one thing that I always like to remember. One time Srila Gurudev, he was speaking with some GBC people, and then GBC devotees, sorry. And then there, Gurudev told them one story, and then this is something that it's very give us some hope. So there, Gurudev was telling one time, Narahari Seva Vigraha, he became very sick. He could not digest anything. Literally anything. He could not even digest water. Anything he would take, he would just like, he was not able to digest anything. So then Srila Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Prayankesha Goswami Maharaj become like very affected in heart, and he himself took him to Calcutta, and he was trying to do everything for him to recuperate. And then when they came there to like best Ayurvedic doctor there in Calcutta, then this doctor told him you should give him 1 spoon of ghee. And Param Gurudev, he would say like he cannot even take water, then how he will be able to digest that ghee? And he say, the doctor explained, he said like first, like from the whole spoon, like a very little, maybe just one drop will stay there in the stomach, and then say, and then, but then the next time you will give him, like little more will stay, and then like a little, and then by this it will become a layer, like the stomach again will, like the intestine, everything, they will develop again layers that will be able again to digest and then absorb everything. Sorry, it sounds like very I'm not doctor, but the main thing here is saying is like at the beginning, like and then Gurudev was telling them this because they were saying about some prayers. They were speaking about some very deep prayers of Śrī Rādhāṣṭaka. And then Gurudev said, like, for us, actually, when we are reciting these songs, they're like this, like one drop, everything, like just maybe very tiny, small drops stay there. It becomes like a layer. And then when do again, then another layer comes, and then another layer, and another layer. And one day, this layer will become so thick that this will be our heart. Like this will be the topmost aspiration of our heart. So like just with this hope, I think like we can try to honor, but like Bhaktivinoda Thakur say, paramayatane, extremely carefully we can try to serve these songs because these are not a rasagula. This is like really something really, really valuable. It's like the heart of Bhaktivinoda Thakur means the heart of Rupa Goswami, the heart of Raghunath Das Goswami, and this is what Mahaprabhu came to give in essence. So we cannot even imagine how valuable is this. So I think like with the extreme most topmost care, we should try to serve this, even if we never like at least doing pranams to these songs. So just with this hope, like one day I can actually totally serve these songs. I'm very thankful they give me the chance to share about these so beautiful songs, even though I'm not qualified. So with this I'm ending. Yeah.
Jai. Wow, that was very beautiful, and I'm very happy. I thought of to ask you to speak on these because if I would have gone through it, I probably would have just like gone through the like meaning of the words, but not really like gone deep into it. So very grateful. And one second. How do I replace? Okay. Um, all right, so that's our program for today. And and also this isn't the only time we're going over these songs. We'll go over these songs at some point in the future, maybe in the summertime sometime. And I'd love to have Mañjulālī Dīdī back on. Now, starting tomorrow, we are God, I need to prepare it. I don't even know what songs it's going to be, but we're the theme of next week, which is starting, yeah, every Thursday we start the next week, is going to be Lalasa. So all these songs of longing, this aspiration, all the songs have this word kabe, when will that day be man? When? And so that will be the topic of next week, and I need to compile those songs together, write something, and am moving to Mayapur today. So I actually maybe I'll extend it a day because I have so much to do today. Anyways, we'll see. But that will be the topic of next week, and then once that longing is established, when will that day be mine? Then on the final week, we will come to the goal, which is first is like our aspiration for the goal, and then finally come to Nam. And Nam is both the means and the goal. And so that will be the last week. And that's how Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur always organizes everything. So that's, yeah, that will be, I still have to figure out what songs we're going to sing and what order and all that. But I'd love if Mañjulālī Dīdī isn't traveling or anything like that. I'd love to have you back on again to speak on some of the Lalasa songs. Maybe Siti Lalasa. I don't know. We'll see. All
Yeah,
right.
great. Let's see what Gurudev arranges.
Awesome. All right, so I'll just do very quick Mahamantra, very short Jaidwani, and then we'll end for today. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shila Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shila Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai, all the associates of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai, Sapasha Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan ki Jai, Shri Giri Raj Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai, Jai Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. These beyond description Radhashtak Kirtans ki Jai. Jai Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Oh, no, also, who is it? Bhakti Nityalala Pravishya Shishimad Shila Bhakti Sharan Shanta Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Tudhiya Shubha Thiruva Titi Ki Jai. Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवाय च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रददेवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः Dandavat pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatharini Mataji, Rukmini Didi, Manjulali Didi, Sarveshwari Mataji, Deepika Didi, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, and let's look on YouTube and Facebook, who is there? Vangshi Wala Prabhu, Shipad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams Maharaj, Shubhananda Prabhu, and Nandarani Didi, Krishna Premavati Didi, and who else? Vidyalalasa Didi, Puleshwari Didi, and yeah, everybody else. Also, the devotees watching in the future, Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Ananda Pradayani Didi, Vrinda Didi, and Anuradha Mataji, and everybody else. Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for joining. See you all tomorrow. And yeah, all right, Aribo. Is there anything anybody wants to mention before we end the stream for today? Okay, see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Jai